side hustles. The search term side hustle is exploding right now. It's actually up this month 292%. I came across a story on Forbes and I want to go over it with you because this is a passion of mine. I've been teaching people about how to start side hustles and how to go from side hustle to side hustle and why to pivot, why you should pivot, and how to make a lot of money. The fact is, the economy is in not a good place and people are underemployed. They're trying to find new ways of making money. We're going to talk about that. This right here is an electric train. It's actually really big. It's a G scale. I made $20,000 buying and selling these from garage sales in about 6 months back in 1999. I took that $20,000, I pivoted into real estate. I built that real estate up to $1 million in valuation. And that's what my profit, not just total amount of properties. But my point is that I turned electric trains that I've honestly never played with in my entire life. I just bought and sold them because it was a niche and I made lots of money. But I went from side hustle to side hustle, even during the Great Recession. It is a great time to start a business. Why? As long as I'm going to give you all kinds of information for free right now. I think it's so important. As long as you stay small and grow in cash, you don't go and do what the normal world does and they go get into debt, they get over leveraged and they get taken out. The reason why it's such a great time to start a side hustle right now is because when economies build up and then they start to turn down, like it did in 1999, like they did in 2008, what you see is a lot of people get confused. They get stressed out. They liquidate things. They aren't thinking clearly, and you are able to swoop in and take advantage of that. So now look, there's a story out of Forbes. We're going to go over all these side hustles. There's a list of 30 side hustle ideas to make extra money in 2023. And I just want to go through them. I'd like to get your thoughts on them. Some of them may be for you, some of them won't, but as we go through them, I'm going to give you some of my take, as not only somebody that's had over 21 side hustles in my life, and each one builds into something bigger. But really, I've been consulting with people on how to make money and do side hustles for the greater part of a decade. So here we go. 30 side hustles that anyone can do. Freelancing. Freelancing is super easy, and what's really cool is there's so many websites, right? But there's also a lot of freelancers. Let's stop right there and say that one of the greatest things about side hustle is you get to start it on your terms. So many people think that they need to go really big and they need to impress people. I think the only person that should be impressed by your side hustle is honestly you and your bank account. That's all that matters. Really, in a world where we're always trying to impress people, I think it's time that we need to impress ourselves. I had people make fun of me because I've been a full-time firefighter for, 25 years now. Gosh, it's getting up there. And I never accepted my pay. On my days off, I would be selling palm trees. I'd be selling tractors, trailers, and people would make fun of me. People would say it's never enough. You're always wanting more, or what? You can't make enough as a firefighter. You've always got to get. And I was taking that money and building it, buying crypto, buying gold, buying real estate, and I didn't let those people get to me. All right. So one thing that needs to be squashed is how others are going to view you. Don't let that white noise get involved in your head. When it goes to this table of contents, they're going to talk about all these different things. There's freelancing, there's pet sitting and doggy daycare. I know somebody that makes 6 figures a year doing pet sitting. All right, what a great deal. Dog walking. I have a friend that has a vehicle that's a write-off, a legal write-off, because they took their side hustle that was starting out with cash and they were doing dog haircuts and grooming, and then they finally bought a vehicle, a van, and then they went and bought another vehicle, and all of this is a write-off. And you get to take little by little, build it up into full-blown company. And again, you don't have to have the kind of company that has 20 employees or even 1 employee. It could just be you, but you're setting your own hours. I want to also highlight how many people out there right now are plumbers, electricians, carpenters, and you're a journeyman or you work for a company, and what you don't realize is that you already have your side hustle. You're building skills and knowledge through somebody else and them paying you. You can set up your own handyman service on the weekends, and you can start getting write-offs and building really slow. And I think that 2024 is going to be your year, but it's going to have to be on your terms. And one thing, and again, I go back to the people that used to mock me, my neighbors, mocking me, don't let them get to you. Now I know where all of them are. They've went through bankruptcies and all kinds of craziness since then, you know? So look at this tech setup services. How many people are actually really good at changing? I know it sounds funny. The old adage, I can't even change the clock on my VCR. But with social media, you could put on your Facebook page, hey, I'm really good, setting up TVs and stereos and wiring things. If you need help, I charge X amount per hour. And you could just go, and now with payment apps like Venmo and all those kind of things, you could just boost that post in a 10-mile radius of your home. And you'd be shocked at how many people not only would love to use your services, but knowing that they're helping someone out that's trying to be a better version of themselves, you'd be blown away with how many people want to use your services. Another thing that I think about is right now we're in an age where the economy is turning, and it's turning pretty quick. But there are people in the services sectors, like I said, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and it's very hard to get someone to call you back. It's like there's not enough companies out there. Well, what if all of a sudden we were able to inspire a whole new generation of people that were full-time plumbers and electricians that started their side gig, right? And they did it legally. They're able to enjoy tax-free write-offs and all of that stuff. But they did it to where they didn't go and hire people. It was just them. One-man show, one-woman show. And what they do is they go now, in turn, they make their services available, and everybody starts calling, and there's people answering the phone because there's not enough companies out there. We need to bring back into America the small business. The SBA, the Small Business Administration, was built because they knew, the government at one point knew, hey, there's so many small businesses and we need to encourage small businesses, right? Well, that goes against my first priority in starting a side hustle, and that's getting into debt. So understand that. But you have to realize that America was built on small enterprise. And this is an amazing time. When the 2008 recession, I'd sold all my homes in 2006. I had nothing left. I had my money from the houses I sold put in the bank. I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, I started growing palm trees in my backyard. Before you know it, there's 1,000 palm trees back there, and I was selling palm trees. And then when that died out, even during the Great Recession, I was making $50,000 a year selling palm trees. See, people didn't have money to sell homes. Their home, they just started fixing it up, and they started buying palm trees. Then I moved into selling tractors. As the Great Recession went deeper, companies were closing their doors. Small mom and pop businesses that were over leveraged, and it's happening right now on Facebook. I am watching an explosion of tractors getting listed and heavy equipment. I'm like, oh man, I do other things now. I pretty much teach people how to start businesses. But if I was going to start a side hustle, we're almost there. The tractors are too overpriced right now, but the inventory is piling up. And what happens next? People have to drop their prices. Hopefully you see where I'm going with this. They talk about blogging and senior sitting in companion. You'd be shocked. There are government programs out there that you could look up where the government will pay you to help being a senior companion. Babysitting and childcare. This is stuff that anyone can do. And now with the use of Google and background checks and technology, you can get so many people calling you. Set up a very simple web page. There are templates out there. It costs nothing. And you could be doing this on your days off. Now, I know it's tough because everybody wants to have a day off and enjoy their day off. But if you want to become successful, you have to work 7 days a week. It's just, I don't know what to tell you. It's have worked 7 days a week since 2010. But it is true, when you're doing something you enjoy, you're not really working. I mean, my whole life, I always wanted one of these trains when I was a little kid. And it wasn't until I got married and they had a sale. They're very expensive. And my wife says, you know what, you should go buy one. And I couldn't, they were 50% off. I couldn't bring myself to buy one. So I bought one and I listed it on eBay. That's how this whole thing started. And it sold for darn near double what I paid for it. So I ran right back down. I paid $200 for it. I sold it for $400. I ran back down. I bought two more. I sold those. I bought the entire store's inventory within a month and I had sold it all. And my point is, you just never know where you're going to start. But if you're doing something you like, and since I always wanted these, I'm like, oh, cool, we'll have a train go around the Christmas tree for the kids. It turned into something really, really cool, right? Now, we're looking, is AJ in the group, guys? Personal assistant, super easy, right? But what's not easy about it? It's your willingness to get out of your comfort zone and go, I can do this. I'll never forget the first time somebody talked me into paying for my time to be a consultant on how to get their finances right. And I'm like, I'm not a financial advisor. And they, yeah, but you've been doing this for so long, you've been budgeting and you've had all these side hustles. Surely you can teach me something. And I asked them what they wanted to pay me, and my mouth dropped when they offered how much. And I'm gonna be honest, it was the hardest thing I ever did, and I accepted the money. And I sat down with them. I said, okay, I might not have all the answers, but here's my goal. My goal is to just double your investment in me. So show me what you got. And that was my goal, was to double, bring them twice as much value. So they paid me $200. I'll never forget it. And it was like, wow, for a half an hour. They showed me all of their stuff. It was a husband and a wife. And it was like, it just started popping. I said, whoa, why are you spending money here when you could do it over here and save money? Why are you doing this? Oh, no, don't do this, don't do this, do this, do this. And it was in their minds, their eyes bulged out of their head, their mouths dropped. At the end of a half an hour, actually I was on the phone with them for 45 minutes on a Zoom call. They had figured out a plan in the next 90 days to save thousands of dollars, and they didn't see it. Now, I got to be honest, that was very hard for me. But when you're thinking about being a personal assistant of organizing someone's stuff or being able to give advice, and to be able to walk people through parts of life that they're navigating, but you've already been through it. If you could sit there and go, I could save that person time and money, it gives you, once you understand, they go, I can save them time and money. And there's actually been one time that I couldn't do it, and I refunded them their money back. I just said, I can't help you. Here's your money back. And they were so grateful. They didn't actually want to take the money back. But when you come at it with that kind of attitude, we're like, I'm going to help somebody. I'm going to fill a need. There's tons of needs out there right now. For heaven's sakes, honestly, as we go through this list of side hustles, understand, most people that own a home right now call for a contractor, call for a plumber, call for an electrician. They're not even getting the owner on the phone. They can't even they're on an answering machine. And then they're being scheduled out like 2 weeks or a month. If you have any kind of skills, which every single one of you do, as a matter of fact, I want you to type your skill down below because it's important to know that. I am an encourager and I can spot trends. And so that's why I move from trend to trend in finance, in economics. That's my skill. And it's important. It's not a bragging thing. It's important to say that because what it does is after a while, you need to have ownership of that. And that's when you become successful. If you can help someone else and you charge them a fair amount, but now you helped them, more business is going to come back to you. So you got people in HVAC. How hard is it to get an intervention consultant? How hard is it to get somebody to call you back when you have an HVAC problem? Yeah, that's pretty hard. So mobile car wash and detailing. I did mobile car washing when I was 15 years old. I paid cash, my 1984 Honda Accord. It was charcoal gray. I paid $1,000 for it, but that's how I got the money. Local handyman, huge, like I said. Virtual assistant. You could be an assistant to someone on the other side of the world, and you're just taking in the emails, filtering out the crap, and saying, I need one of those. But my point being that if you're organized, you can make money. Self-publishing ebooks, online courses, and coaching. Hey, I've been doing that. Somebody came to me and they told me, Ninja, you need to sell a course. If you know it, and that's why I'm going to put the link down below. I'll put a link for the how to start a side hustle course for $199. Yeah, I started that and I was able to help people and it sold like amazingly. As a matter of fact, it's changed my life, not only because of the money that it brings in, but because it's given me confidence. There's nothing better than helping someone. Nothing better. That's why I became a firefighter. And I want to encourage you to start a side hustle in 2024. Someone I know is selling jewelry and they're going around to all these jewelry auction shows. And I said, why are you doing it this way? Why don't you sell it online? Oh no, I could never do that. I'm like, do you like being in front of all these people? Like, oh, it makes me nervous. I'm like, sell your goods online, make a short little video on Facebook and go, hey, I've made this custom jewelry. It's this much if you'd like to buy it. you can, if you want to go really simple, we can buy it online. You can pay for it through PayPal and I'll ship it to you, or I can arrange a meeting place in town, right? And I was telling this lady, I go, you're only gonna find people that wanna buy your stuff and then boost that post. It doesn't even take that much to boost the post. There are so many people that would buy, how many people, type one down below, would love to buy something handmade from somebody that's trying to better their life right now? I'm the kind of person that I can't stop. I can't drive by a lemonade stand. I can't. I just can't do it. My wife knows it. My kids know it. I see kids on the side of the road hustling. I have to stop and I got to tell them, I got to first off congratulate them and give them what a, good job. I buy some lemonade, and because I want to encourage that spirit. We've lost that entrepreneurial spirit in our country. We're consolidating, we're getting lazy. And I want to see the next set of millionaires rise up during this economic crash that we are already starting to experience. Digital product sales YouTube channel. Hey, I wish I would have started this earlier. It's been incredible. You can make money. So people ask me all the time. They go, well, I need to get those views so I can get monetized on Google. I'm like, no, you don't. Stop thinking about what you got to do to impress Google. You go make a video of you working on your car and you put an affiliate link to the parts that you replaced on it. And say, hey, look, I replaced this part of the car, or I found a way to make it better. And you know what? I put links to the products. If you'd like to buy them, cool. Because the end user that's going to use your link or not use it, they're going to pay the same price. You don't have to be monetized for that. Go do it. Go do something. And you get, there's so many people that are like, I don't know how to stand in front of a camera. I'm like, you kidding me? Have you seen any of my first videos? I'm still like that. That's why I go live, because just like somebody that would want, that typed one, that would want to spend some money with somebody that made something handmade, that wants to better their life, that's why I don't edit. Because I want the real me to show through. I could edit like crazy. I know people that take their zits off their face, for heaven's sakes, they're so full of themselves. I know that there are so many good people out there that just want to be around other people that encourage them and make them feel good. And that's what I want for you. I want you to go absolutely dominating your side hustle. I met somebody in Vegas at SEMA the other day that had listened to my videos and went out and started a side hustle and is making over $150,000 a year in his side hustle and was so excited. And that's why he was at SEMA. Do you know how good that makes me feel? And I want you to feel that feeling. It's one thing to have that feeling and harness it. It's another thing to share it. Now, we're talking about side hustles. Taking online surveys. I mean, if you got to start somewhere, there's no excuse. You will get paid to take online surveys. Like Google, get paid taking online surveys. And there's tons of them. I used to have my kids do it all the time for extra money for themselves. I was like, you want money? Here you go. Sit down, start making money, and then take that money and let's go build that money. Selling goods via drop shipping. You don't have to even have a warehouse. Sell products using retail arbitrage. I used to go to Ross and I would buy men's button-up shirts that would fit me that I liked, because if I couldn't sell them, I'd wear them. And I would list them on eBay. When they were at the 80% off, I would go list them for half off on eBay. And you know what? I was only making $7 to $10 a shirt, but I was selling 10 a day. I was making $100,000 a year as a firefighter, and I would clean people's homes. I was a house cleaner. Part of me is embarrassed to say that. Another part's not. I did everything I could to build a life for my family, but it took more than a paycheck. I want people to succeed. This isn't about selling a course. If you want to buy a course, you want to save time and money with all the problems I had when I was starting side hustles, then cool, that link's down below. But it's really about encouraging you. I want to encourage you to just go and do something. If it's just selling some stuff that you haven't used last year in a garage sale, and then taking that money and then trying to flip it a couple times, and then don't spend the money go look for another opportunity. Go from electric trains to real estate. There's never been a better opportunity, because as this economy crashes deeper and deeper, and we go into a big crash, if you have a little bit of money, it becomes worth so much while everyone else is in panic. 2024 is the year for you to start a side hustle, and I want to encourage you to do that. Let me know below what your side hustle is, or if this has encouraged you, let me know, because I want to read through the comments, because I think it's going to give me a lot of ideas for upcoming videos, because I want to change the way the Economic Ninja channel is done. I want to really encourage you to absolutely dominate 2024 when others are not. All right, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. I'll put the huge discount link, $199 if you want it. No worries at all. Thank you so much. The Economic Ninja is out.